All right, guys, we're going to finish putting the YZ144 motor back together today. I'm really excited about it. If you haven't watched the bottom end rebuild, make sure you do. Well, if you're interested. If you don't care, then don't bother. But if you're interested in seeing how this goes back together, putting a new crank in it, all new transmission bearings, all that good stuff, make sure you check out that video. But today we are going to be installing the clutch and everything on this right-hand side here. And then after that, we're going to be putting the top end together, including the power valve and all that stuff with the Athena kit, and getting this thing ready to go back in the frame. The frame is at my house, all clean and happy now. I need to clean up the swing arm and make sure I grease all the bearings and all that stuff. So make sure you stick around, stay tuned, subscribe, all that good stuff, because I'll be doing all that. If you have not checked it out, this is the building of the, excuse me, we are doing a whole series on building an ultimate lightweight woods weapon. So this is not a hard enduro thing. This is an enduro or woods or hare scramble or whatever kind of weapon. So this is just a really, really sweet YZ144, soon to be 144. Yeah, this is gonna be awesome. So let's get the clutch and get all that stuff on here. Okay, we're gonna start by putting this keeper in here. Let's see, I think it's actually this one. So this thing had enough thread lock on it that it was stuck on there. So I'm gonna clean this up real fast. And then this goes, yeah, this goes like that. And then we'll put some red stuck nuts on there, put that on, help hold that seal, kind of keep it from wanting to push out under compression of the, since it's a two-stroke, when the piston comes down, it actually pushes out on those seals. So that'll help keep that in there. So go get some, clean this up. All right, we got our bushing goes on. Our main gear like that. We got our bolt here. Got to clean that up and get some red stuck nuts on there too. Got our idler gear, guys. Make sure that goes on the way it came off. So the boss that sticks out goes inboard. We got a washer. Like that goes on. Then we get our snap ring. All right, guys, we're gonna put our Kickstarter. Now I'm like, our Kickstarter in. Let me show you something. I don't know how easy it is to see. Right in there, there's this. There you go. You can see that little piece needs to go into that slot. That drops in. Then we're going to take our spring around, and since we didn't take anything apart, it's all timed correctly. So there we go. Got our washer, bearing. Now I find it's easier just to take this apart than try to time everything and get it to line up on the splines. So, basket in, spacer, hub, we're going to drop our plates. think this is actually going to go like that. There we go. When I put the clutch in, guys, and was checking everything, this gear wasn't lined up. This was too far in. So that's why you check things. It's been apart for a long time. I forget which way it went. So that's why it's important to pay attention as you're putting it back together, because these gears weren't lined up. So this would have ended up skipping on that thing and caused all kinds of problems. All right, so also put all new seals and bearings in the water pump, so that should be all good to go. Now we've got to install our, let me move a couple things here. I'm going to install our power valve actuator. You can see here, guys, this little dude needs to go into that groove. And this goes here. This goes in. So this is down. Actuator, what you're going to do is you're going to kind of lift up on this and get the actuator into that groove. And it's going to be a little tight. There we go. And then you should be able to work it down in. And you feel it lock in there. And when you know it's right when you push down on this, and this is all the way down. So there we go. Now, when the balls spin in here and cause that to ramp up, it will lift this up, which will then open up the power valve. So we're good. All right, now I think we are good to go. All right, guys, last thing on this side is going to put our clutch all together. All right, on this side, got our clutch actuator. We're going to come in like that. All right, so now that's in there. Ow. All right, guys, we're going to take this, we're going to drop this in. And we have the ball, goes in there. We have our throw out bearing, goes like that. I always like to check this, guys, so pushing in here, I'm going to take the actuator, just move it up and down, make sure that that does what it needs to do. All right, guys, as you're putting this clutch together, something to note, I forgot to mention, is that the outside friction plate is narrower this way than all the others. And that is important because if you don't do that, this won't go on. So drop that in there. Boom. All good. Now we're just going to go ahead and put our pressure plate bolts and springs in. When I get that done, we'll come back and put the cover on. We're going to take our cover. We're going to go nice and easy. And we're going to have to, you'll see, you got to kind of hold this down. You're going to have to turn this as you go to get everything lined up. Go. And when you can turn this, and it turns your crankshaft, you know that everything is nice and free and spinning good. All right, now I'm gonna put our bolts in. These are all 7 to 8 foot-pounds of torque. You don't need to see me do this, but we'll get them in. All right, now the bottom end is truly all back together. Super happy about how that turned out. I can't wait to get this thing cleaned up and all shiny so I can take those cool pictures that everybody takes when they have their motor all rebuilt and sand or vapor blasted. So, all right, we're gonna leave that there. We're gonna go put our power valve together on the cylinder. All right, guys, we got the new cylinder here with the new power valve blades, and we've got the old cylinder, and we need this old cylinder because it has got the stuff for the actuator. So we are going to pull this apart now, show you what this all looks like when we get done here. We're going to use this on the new one. And I don't think we need, I think I have that, but I'm going to save it just in case. And here we go. Disgusting. I really only need the rods, so I'm not going to go crazy cleaning it. I like to keep things in order if I can. Now, that's free. We got to take this keeper loose. Need that for the new one. This rod is just going to slide out. Boop. And we're going to take everything here. Okay, now we're going to leave all this in there because I don't need it, and I'm going to keep this thing because it's actually in good shape, so if we need to, we can put this thing back to a 125. All right, now I am not going to like do a super douche on this with brake clean because these are actually, they're in good shape. I had this all apart before the crankshaft blew up, so I know that this stuff's actually not that messed up. Also, this oil on here will be good for the lubrication on the new one. So now I'm going to try keep my hands as clean as I can so I can make this shiny and cool. But this goes in. There's only one way it can go together so that those things are facing in. And then we've got holes. And they can line up however, but you just line them up so you get two lined up. The Athena kit is cool because it comes with new bolts. For everything. And I am not going to thread lock these because these things get super tight anyway. And I find I've never had one of these come loose. And if it did, absolute worst case scenario, it would not be the end of the world. I mean, the bike would run like crap, but it wouldn't be running through the motor. So, as with everything that has multiple holes in it, guys, don't tighten it down until you get everything started. Because sometimes you just get it cocked a little bit, then you can't get the other one in. So there we go. Actually, so as you guys are doing this and you're putting the bolts in, make sure that you line it up. You can see how there's a little boss there and there. So make sure it lines up so that they drop all the way in. So that way the power valve will close all the way. Now we're going to take this guy and we're going to put the springs over those rods like that. I'm going to take these, put those in, and we're just dropping them in. We don't have to be careful yet. Now, we need to put the seal in there. Go grab that. Fortunately, a new one of those comes in the Tusk kit. $10mm socket works really well to push that into place. I'm going to slide our rod through, and you're just going to jockey all this stuff into place, guys. I don't have a good tip for you. You'll figure it out. It's just kind of a thing. Now there's a hole in that shaft where the bolt goes, and so you really can't mess this up. You can't like misalign it. But we need this guy on here, and this dude in there. Again, I'm not putting thread locker on that because I've just never had that be a problem. Okay, you can move it. Make sure both blades opening and closing all the way. Happy with that. Go grab our new gasket. That's a symmetrical gasket, guys, so don't worry about that. Just put it on. And I'm going to try to clean this up and make it look pretty. Now we'll take our keeper, bolt this on, and I'm going to meet you guys back over by the rest of the motor so we can put the top end on, and we'll be done with this video, and I'm excited. And I get to use, honestly, one of my newest, favoriteest tools ever, the stud installer from Rocky Mountain from Tusk. Dude, this thing is so cool because I've always used another one that kind of crimps onto these, and it kind of messes up the threads if you're not careful. So this thing, dude, these are so freaking cool. So that's the wrong size. It's going to be an M8. So these are cool. So you thread this on, and then you've got a big Allen here, and there's a ball bearing in there. And when you tighten that ball bearing down, it like pinches the threads with that ball. Anyway, you get it, right? So as you thread this on, and then when you thread this on, the ball bearing hits the tip of this, and it pinches the threads, and then you tighten it down. Dude, so freaking cool. So yeah, you thread that on, plenty of threads, and then you get that. Let's see, I think that's yep, 17. Then to remove it, you just loosen that up and it comes right off. Seriously, so freaking cool. That right there, folks, is crazy slick. Other cool thing about this kit is it's got the removers, which work just like a normal one, but they've got, anyway, it's like double nutting, but easier. So pretty stoked on that. And quick ad, you can buy these at Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and you can use our link in the description. Anyway, I do appreciate when you guys use our link. It makes a massive difference to me. It's helping me grow this channel, do really cool things, buy cool bikes, do cool stuff to them, go cool places. So anyway, I appreciate it. Please use that link. But first, shop local. When you can buy things locally, please, please, please do. But this is one of those things, you're not going to buy this locally. Just buy it from Tusk, and that'd be awesome. So anyway, now I'm going to meet you back over by the rest of the motor. All right, guys, we are getting close here. So now what we got to do is got to do a little bit of cleaning here on our base gasket surface. Obviously, this thing was super duper cleaned by my buddy Mike with the Vapor Blaster, but since we installed the gasket maker on everything, there are little bits of gunk we got to get off of there. Get that all nice and happy. I also like to try to get all the oil off. I mean, it's going to get oil and gas and whatever on it when you put the whole thing together, but I don't know. Makes me happy. Boys at Crankworks made sure they gave me this. It's top end bearing. It came with the rod kit, but anyway, it's Pro X rod that we're using from Japan. I really, really, really like those a lot. Now, we do need the gaskets from the 144, though. Here's a quick little tech tip. You got gaskets like this and you got to open it. You got a knife. Don't do it on this side because even if you're careful, you might slip. Do it over here where you can't possibly jack that up. Don't ask me how I know that that sucks. Got our base gasket. Probably wait to put that on, but whatever. We're going to do that. Now, piston. The thing I love about Crankworks is that when you send them something, they want literally all of it. The clips, the top end bearing, everything. So like, yeah, now I have 2 top end bearings, but because it came with the Athena kit, they want everything, pin, clips, everything, so that when they balance it, it's balanced like truly to the piston and everything, down to the last gram. Just going to use this grip mat as a way to install this because it's nice and soft and freaking cool. I love these things. So put it in on this side. Go grab a pick. I like to take the pin, and if that clip is being kind of a pain in the butt, which it is, it's trying to walk itself back in there, I take the pin and I back it up so that the clip can't go any further back in there. There we go. Now I'm going to take a little bit of assembly lube. I'll go grab that. Put that on there so it doesn't go dry. Now, got our arrow. That's going to face towards the exhaust. Lift this up. Push that all the way in there. Take our rag. We're going to put it down in here so we don't have to flip this thing up upside down and try to get the clip out when we drop it. Hopefully we don't drop it anyway, but you just never know. There we go. Now, gonna take our ring and I'm gonna check the end gap just in case, even though this came from Athena, it's all one thing, but I'm gonna make sure we got a gap in here. I usually use the piston as the guide to flatten it out, but I can see I've done a lot of these things, guys, and no, I'm not. I've done this for 58 years, and so don't question me. I've done a bunch. I can look in there. I can see that we got enough gap. So I'm definitely not perfect, but that I can do. So put this on here. And yes, this is a single ring setup, which is not honestly my favorite. It is single ring. Top ends tend to rev faster and definitely quicker throttle response. Definitely not the best for longevity though. So I'm not loving that, but it is what it is. We're going to run it. So, all right, now come over here. And this is easy with the thing out of the frame. This is super easy. So we're just going to pinch our fingers down, come in here. I have left the base nuts at my house, so I'm not going to be able to finish this thing on this video, but guys, you saw what happened. We're all good. I don't need to show you me torquing the base nuts down. I'm not going to torque them anyway. I'm not going to use a torque wrench. I'm just going to use a wrench on those. We're going to tighten those down, and then quick little note on the 144, guys. Let's see, actually, hang on. I'm going to use this, I think. That's a little bit nicer base gasket. It came with both, but I'm going to go with this metal one because it's got that adhesive stuff on it. Here, I'll show you that stuff on it. I like that stuff, so I'm going to put that on there. Yeah, I like that better. Yeah, way better. And the thing I was going to mention that is cool and important to note is that the 144 kit comes with a metal cylinder head gasket, and that is actually really nice, really strong, really good. Also, it comes with a little thing that says up, so that goes up. You can see the UP there, but it goes like this, and you know which way it goes because it's got these little dowel pins there. And we got our cylinder head. It's actually got an interesting head profile. It's got a kind of a 3-layer or 3-angle squish, or I guess the squish bane's only 2 angles, so it's like in, flat, and then in, instead of just one thing. So that's interesting. I don't really know how that's going to work. We're going to have to find out. Boom, like that, and we're good. That lines up on the dowel pins, and we're good to go. So, sorry that I forgot the nuts, and actually I forgot the acorn nuts and everything. So, anyway, that's all at my house. No worries. I will bring that down here. Actually, I'm going to bring this motor home. The next thing you see is going to be us starting to put the chassis back together, and then this in the chassis, and jetting, and all that good fun stuff. We're going to freshen up the suspension, all those things to make this thing absolutely wicked. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. Make sure you like the video if you did. If you didn't like it, I guess hit the thumbs down button because that helps us in the algorithm too. I don't really care. Yeah, I hope you guys like it. Make sure you tell me in the comments if you use this to build your motor. I really like hearing that about all these things, guys. I love hearing when you guys use one of the videos that we made to do the work on your bike. It really is cool for me and makes me feel really good. So, yeah, the only other thing, guys, is, we're going to hook this up, put a bolt in it, and like all little stuff that I just, like I said, that's at my house. That's part of the problem with having the home shop and this shop and all whatever. So anyway, pretty sweet, guys. I'm really excited about the Athena big bore. I've heard lots of good and lots of bad. So you guys are going to hear an honest, no messing around review from me and my kid Ewan, who's going to be riding it the most. So hope you guys liked that video. God bless each and every one of you. And I desperately hope that what we're doing here at Highland Cycles is inspiring you guys to work on, but more importantly, get out and ride your dirt bikes.